What lies before you is nothing short of an enigma, a Rorschach test to the eyes of anyone who's ever held an opinion about anything. It was assembled with old glue sticks and leaks more mysterious fluids than a public restroom, but it's no less reliable than either of these. If you aren't embarrassed by sitting in one, you'll find that the supposed worst car ever made doesn't have all that much to write home about. When they were new, they were a cash grab for the demographic who could live off an entry-level position and feared rap music. Today, these same cars are considered tragic walking alternatives for the financially destitute. The compact wagon is the very definition of low-hanging fruit. It's true this blob of good intentions was Schyster's flirtatious homage to the unemployment lines, farm drought, and even drier households of the 1930s. Yet for all of its retro-inspired aesthetics, it said more about the times it was built for than the times it depicted. Much like the Sea Wagon, the turn of the century was an era lauded with high-strung attitudes and futuristic expectations, sober with an unfortunate reality. Whether we choose to accept it or not, Schyster's compact wagon was the automotive zeitgeist of the 2000s. A car emblematic of a decade which warred with terror and withered in recession lives rent-free in all of our minds. It wasn't long before Schyster's compact wagon joined the ranks of the dilettante and the Rhapsody, becoming one of the most hated examples in automotive history. And yet, people bought them. They bought a lot of them. There's almost as many wagons out there as there are Staniers. The compact doesn't just remind you that it's not like the other cars. It practically beats you over the head with its Great Depression look. The high roof, sloped rear, dominant grille, and bloated fenders separate this thing from just about any other form of mid-sized transportation. Following its Germanic acquisition, Schyster's mantra into and throughout the 2000s was all about shock value. Instead of playing it safe, their coked-up executives greenlit projects like the Banshee, Fusillade, and Falira. The compact wagon was certainly no exception. If you take this thing seriously, you're probably missing the point. Schyster didn't even take it seriously, considering this was mostly a scheme to offset emissions. This truck was an experimental attempt at bringing back the past in a time all about predicting the future. That was until you stepped inside. Like so many others, the Sea Wagon's interior was made from the cheapest grade of manufacturer-approved plastic, a cascade of soul-crushing grey rectangles to hide your crack in. However, the interior was also quite spacious, meaning with a little bit of hard work you could easily convert your personal transporter into a delivery van, or the neighborhood's probable cause predator. For all its hot rod inspirations, the Sea Wagon carries itself with an abysmal four-banger. This gutless excuse of a combustion engine was inevitably given the turbo treatment. Alongside paint-matched bumpers, chrome wheels, and a spoiler, the sports package had all the acceleration and stability of a toddler on caffeine pills. One mid-2000s facelift later, and the Sea Wagon began its plummet from quirky cruiser to the unwanted part of Grandpa's will. And even yet, having aged with the grace of cottage cheese, it still made the most lasting impression of its retro-inspired contemporaries. To this day, there are cults of compact wagoneers who meet in droves to show off their special trim packages and horrendous custom chrome jobs. The Sea Wagon contagion knows no borders either, considering these groups have even assembled in Europe. It might have the sex appeal of a nude beach for seniors, but the compact wagon went against the grain and gave us something entirely unique. This thing oozes character, although that character is probably a raging alcoholic without insurance. It won't be long before this car comes back as a classic rather than just an imitation of one. Just like politicians who commit war crimes for sport, the Sea Wagon will get its chance at a redemption arc, sooner than later.